You'll never catch me!
Good at this, and you don't have to be either. We had an exciting session last week, and can't wait to see what's going to happen next. First, I'd like to introduce all of our players at the table today. Mr. Wallace, your beard looks beautiful, by the way.
Why, thank you.
And who are you playing today, Wallace?
I am playing Kurgan, the half-orc of the druid type.
The druid type. Subtype?
Kurgan Thunder Howl!
Is that a super type for all you MTG fans?
I have a little companion, the wolf Greymane.
Woo!
Ooh, ow, 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 ow.
Sitting to his side, I'm not going to try to figure out cardinal direction anymore. Nick!
Yo.
Glad you're here, buddy.
Thank you.
Who are you playing today?
Me, I will be resuming playing Gaius Bainbridge, the Rougarou Cavalier.
Excellent.
So noble.
The noblest of all the Rougarou. And my name is Joel. I am playing Scarlet Carson, the Azamar Inquisitor of Tyrannus. Last but not least, Chris, our benevolent and maleficent GM.
I can be multiple things for you, Joel.
Chris, welcome here.
No problem. Thank you very much. I'm jumping into the GM, DM, whatever you want to call it, seat. Excited about tonight. Tonight's going to be a good one, everybody.
Cannot wait. But first, we got a lore drop.
Tell
us about something.
Well, Tyrannus, Xeranoth, Midas. What are all these? These are all deities. But what is the nature of divinity on Atrothia? While the name may invoke thoughts of all-encompassing power and cosmic creation, deities are revered beings who possess immense power and are capable of granting supernatural abilities to those that follow their dogma, doctrine, or teachings. The strength of the deity will be connected directly to the variety of sources from which they harness cosmic energies. And this is their scope of influence, the number of followers they have, their age or accomplishments, and that'll determine how strong they are in a grade of scale. So when we're talking deities in Atrothia, we're talking minor deities, lesser, intermediate, and greater. So there is only one greater deity in all of the Atrothian pantheon, and that is Xeranoth, the god of corruption. When we're talking minor deities, we're talking things that are like demigods, things that are like archangels, powerful demon lords, important, powerful imperial lords, devils of note, things like that. Once we get into lesser and intermediate, that's where the bulk of the pantheon is, with the stronger deities, the older ones being classified as intermediate. So that is what our lore drop is today. We're touching on the nature of divinity. And with that, I'd like to pass it along to Wallace to do our session recap.
So last time on Barely Adequate, the party began the episode in hot pursuit of Old Cassif, who was easily able to outdistance both Scarlet and Kurgan, who were in hot pursuit. Using Gaius, they tracked them over many buildings and numerous doublebacks, returning close to where the original fight had taken place. Old Cassif was attempting to run away on a small ship, but was caught by Scarlet, and she had knocked him unconscious. When returning his unconscious body, some guards stopped the party and informed them that Old Cassif had a bounty on his head. After the guards seized the boat and the unconscious body, we were able to retrieve Thuvius' pin, and we received our reward. The party then decided to take their newfound wealth and stayed at a local inn for the night. The next morning, there was a hot debate on the proper way to feed 30-pound carnivorous plants and how to talk to them. What will the party do next? Will the pin shed any light on the investigation?
And it is very relevant to me if we figure out how to feed 30-pound carnivorous plants. And so let's find out. Chris, how can we do that, Chris?
Well, you find yourselves in Chainbreaker Matthias Ansom's tavern. Chainbreaker's Tavern, as it's called. As you all know and remember, he is going to comp anything that you get in his tavern. So you've been coming for all your meals here. You're meeting up for breakfast, and you've just finished discussing the intricacies of these carnivorous plants that Scarlet Carson purchased from Elody Spirits that she couldn't wait to get rid of. But now that they're no longer fattened up on rats, they've been hungry, and you've been looking to source out some of their food. But your main reason for being at the table today is not for that. It is to discuss what to do next in your investigation. What will you do to try to find Thuvius?
So I would argue that the reason we're here is to find out the plant food thing.
Well, it is. Yeah, I'm sure it's on everybody's
But we'll
mind.
put that on the back. That's a side quest. Yeah. So
Can't put it on the back burner too long, otherwise they'll starve.
You don't want that.
that's a good point. That's a valid point. Okay, so remind me to get some food for my plants after we figure out what to do. So, Black Tree Hill is somehow connected to this, and I believe we were gonna. This is Scarlet will be saying to you guys. I believe we should head to see Willem Bordello. Bornello. My apologies. The smithy. Who may have ties to the were creatures that prowl the
Iron
forest.
Claw clan.
The Iron Claw clan.
The werebears prowling the regions to
Have you had any, Kurgan, have you had any run-ins with the Iron Claw clan?
He has. He has, actually. He knows a little bit about the Iron Claw clan. He knows that they're a group of werebears. They don't like dealing with more civilized folks, so he's gotten along with them well. But despite the fact that they don't like dealing with them, they're all very well equipped. They've earned the name the Iron Claw clan because of their finely made weapons and armor. And as impressive as a werebear is, they're far more impressive when they're clad in iron armor, wielding a massive axe or a big hammer or a big sword. So they were someone you've definitely encountered before when you've been prowling the Mist Vale and some of the Iron Hills to the north and east. You also know that their leader is a werebear by the name of White Scar. But you don't know much more than that.
And we suspect this Willem Bornello to be White Scar?
There are rumors around town that Willem Bornello, the local blacksmith, is in fact White Scar. So that was something you were interested in trying to suss out for yourselves. After all, one of the other rumors around town was that it was Lokic Drogma's faithful Eidolon companion Miasma that was this beast of Black Tree Hill.
Kurgan, do you know the tenets of the Iron Claw clan? Like, is there something that they covet? Or is there a code that they live by that you're aware of?
Knowledge.
You can give me a knowledge local. He doesn't. He just knows that they're one of the few things keeping the ogres and savage creatures of the northern reaches at bay.
Okay. So
they're despite the superstition around town, largely in the region, they're considered a good presence. There's no military forces or anything that go after them.
Okay, great. Okay, so that's what she'll say. Scarlet will say, I think that we should go pay a visit to Willem. And if what we've heard is true, you should do the talking, Kurgan.
Doesn't sound like you take too kindly to me or to you.
That is what I think as well.
When an ironclad wolf guy, they're not gonna deal with that. Or is it you're too knightly, too fancy,
Too well kept, I think.
too well kept?
So, anybody have anything to add to that? Kurgan? Okay, great.
Well, I mean, since we're going there, we could always see if the blacksmith has any outfitting advice for going to hunt this creature.
Good. That's a good idea.
One thing I like to do, I like to cast Detect Magic on the pin.
The pin
Yeah.
is non-magical, but it's a fine piece. Does anyone have a praise?
Old
Take a
Cassif
shot
said
in
it
the
was,
dark, though, with a 5.
Old Cassif said it was very valuable.
Old Cassif said, very valuable.
Many
Family heirloom.
platinum.
Didn't say what family.
Yeah.
His great granduncle. It was a gift from the Emperor of Yokaigan.
Okay, so before we go, I'm gonna I need to get some meat from Matthias. I want to have a chat with Matthias. I
Sure.
want to talk to him.
Yeah, Matthias, he's here. He's been serving you. So I've been thinking about your man-eating plant problem that you have.
How did you know about that?
You've been talking about it for the last hour.
You've been listening?
Yeah, I've been serving you food and drink.
Oh yeah, fair enough. Okay, Matthias. So yeah, okay, go on.
So Matthias, the distinguished, well-kept old nobleman, he with his nice red overcoat, leaning on his cane heavily, he says, so I've been thinking about your problem, and at the end of the night, I have a pretty good amount of scrap meat product and bones and things left over. I could easily toss them into a bucket or two for you, and you could take them to go feed your plants.
Well, that would be excellent.
No problem.
We can help each other.
I'll take care of that for you.
Thank you.
And if you want, you could lend me one. I could certainly use it in the building next door.
What's the building next door?
Well, it's a brew house, and there's a might of a rat problem there.
Well, a grain.
I mean, we used to have cats, but I mean,
Did the rats end up eating the cats?
well, the cats haven't been back, so they must be pretty angry rats.
Yeah, all right. I'm curious to see how good these things would be at hunting rats. So, yeah.
He gives a nod.
Absolutely.
So he says, "Yeah, bring one by this afternoon, and we'll get it set up.
Great.
And I'll make sure to give you some buckets of leftovers. We'll call them."
That sounds like a good deal to me.
Okay, so he gives you a nod, and your apparently your plant food problem is gone for now, at least.
Now you're in the
I
exterminator.
want to make sure you visit the brewery plant frequently.
Of course.
You can't just leave them there all by their own.
No, they're going to get lonely otherwise.
Within the next 20 minutes or so, you guys finish up your meal, and Matthias gives you guys a wave as he cleans up after you, and you head your way down to the Iron Hand Smithy.
Yeah.
So is there anything you want to do before heading to the Iron Hand Smithy?
We got a bunch of gold, guys.
You want to buy stuff?
I kind of want to go. Let's go. Hey, first of all, I think we got some potions that we don't know what they do. And I'd like to maybe buy some more potions. Like healing potions, perhaps.
Oh, you guys know an alchemist.
So maybe we could go to the alchemy shop. And I actually really kind of want to know what the midnight special is all about. The train ride to Bed Bath & Beyond. I'm not going back in there. Forget it. But I would like to go to
Spira's Spirits?
Spira's Spirits.
Okay. You all make your way to Spira's Spirits. So you go meet Elody Spirus. As you approach, door flies open. Everyone give me a reflex save.
Oh my goodness.
Right.
She's doing this again?
Yep, still doing this. Guess we should have saw that coming.
11.
You got an 11, okay.
10.
A 10. Oh.
A 9.
A 9. Okay, so the door flies open, and you all see Elody wind up with her latest cauldron full of strange fluid. But before she tosses it, she stops kind of halfway. Oh, and she kind of awkwardly steps forward a few steps. However, none of you are quick enough to catch her as she tumbles into the street, spilling it all over everything, including herself. But none of you.
Huh. Well, I'll go to help her up.
Oh, it's everywhere.
Where was it? That's where it was supposed to go.
I know, but I slipped.
It's not toxic, is it?
What are you doing walking around here?
Apparently, we didn't learn our lesson.
You can't just walk around the street. You got to be more careful.
Can we like build her a sink or something?
Sure you can. So you help her up.
Use it.
And
use it.
her big thick coat that she's wearing is covered in bizarre fluids, but it doesn't seem nothing's stuck. It's not popping or sizzling. Nothing's burning. She seems okay.
All right, well, I'll help her to her feet.
Okay, you help her to her feet. So
I'll
she
try
says,
to
"Oh,
find
well,
a towel for her, I guess.
good to see you all again. What brings you by? You're not." And she like frowns. She's like, "You're not gonna go see Lokic Drogmar."
No, I assure you, we're not. We're actually here to see you.
Oh, hi.
Hello.
So she waves and heads back into her shop with her cauldron.
We'd like to purchase.
Come on in.
Thank you. So we walk past all the
right.
shrunken heads and
All the bizarre old occult things that she's just left on the shelves. And she's got another. She starts up another big pot on her weird display case.
I love this.
Clearly
girl.
not suited. For
She's
what
awesome.
using it for. So she says, "Well, what brings you by?"
We found some potions that we aren't sure what they do. Would you be able to help us out?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Can I
And-
see them?
Yeah. So
So there is a 1-1-1-2. So you understand my
Yeah, I got
one
you.
unique, one unique, one unique, two unique.
Yes. So there is one potion of enlarge person.
Okay.
There is one potion of invisibility.
ooh, that would have been nice.
There are 2 potions of shield of faith.
Well, I like that.
Ooh.
Okay.
And I believe you only have 1 left.
Yeah.
There is 1 potion of cure serious wounds.
Oh. Well, I feel like I should buy something. Because she did just...
So after she identifies those things for you,
Okay.
so she asks, "So what kind of alchemical goods do you have on you?" You know, a lot of people, they underestimate the potency of a good alchemical item.
I don't think we have anything else on us at the moment. Is there anything you're interested in?
You don't have anything?
We have oil.
Oh, you got that from Pit Fiends, didn't you?
From what?
The Pit Fiends.
Yeah, we definitely did.
they're
didn't
terrible.
I didn't write that down.
What do they use oil for?
Did I miss?
They light it like Molotov cocktails.
I know. It's
Did I miss the
very
oil we got?
inefficient. You know, if they went to me, their stuff would work all the time.
Well, what
Wouldn't
do you
blow up
got?
in their hands like it did with you guys.
What do you got? What do you specialize in?
Well, I'll tell you what. So you've tangled with the Pit Fiends before, and you've seen their terrible alchemical supplies. Because you're such good customers, I'm going to give you a small sampling.
We're also
of
your
some
only
of my
customers.
goods. No, I get. Yeah, you are. Yeah. And she like looks down when you when she says, she's like, yeah.
But
Yeah,
go
you
on,
are.
please
Yeah.
go on.
No, I'll give you a sampling, so you know how good it is. You'll come back for me for all your stuff.
Okay, what do you got?
So she looks around. She's like, She starts rifling through things. She's like, oh, no, that they don't want that. No. So she collects a few things, and she gives you guys 3 flasks of acid, 2 flasks of alchemist fire, 1 tanglefoot bag, and a vial of smelling salts.
Ooh. Okay, well, this Tanglefoot bag is going to pique my interest.
Okay, so yeah, she says here it's basically a bag filled with a really, really sticky substance, glues you in place.
Okay, and I just throw it at somebody, and
That's all it takes, yeah. And if you just want to put a little note beside each one of those things, if you're happening to take one.
How many?
Just so I know that it's one that Elody gave you.
How much are more of these?
She said it was 50 gold each.
50 gold each, huh?
50 gold each. It's a good price.
Well, judging by how many people have been running away from us, it might not be a bad idea to keep a couple of these on hand.
She nods. It's a great idea. It's a great idea.
Before we leave, I'm going to say to her, I'll say, I'm actually looking for a good fertilizer for plants. Could you make me something?
Yeah, she nods. She says, yeah, I can make you something.
Natural. Something natural.
Yeah, of course.
For those carnivorous plants that you
No,
saw.
I don't
That's all
want
I
that.
use is natural parts.
Yeah, but I don't want like these things to turn into those carnivorous plants. I want like actual.
Okay, so she says, yes, I'll whip up some fertilizer and you can pick it up tomorrow.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
So she gives a nod and you
That's all
guys
we wanted to do.
head off to. Are you guys gonna mention you're gonna go talk to Willem Bornello, to Elody, or are you?
I don't see why we would.
No. Okay. Sounds good. Okay, so you make your way to the Iron Hand Smithy.
Nice.
Takes about say about 15 minutes or so to get there from the Spirits.
They're just so close together.
And before long, you come on the building. There's a small house with what looks like a shop possessing a little showroom in it, connected to the front. And then in front of that, kind of in the yard, you see an open air smithy. And a man is at work in the smithy. The smell of smoke and the sound of hammer on anvil can be heard as you approach. A burly, middle-aged man with a receding red-brown hairline, bushy eyebrows, and a thick beard is hard at work at the forge. He wears the simple clothes of a blacksmith, complete with an apron, gloves, and boots made of rugged leather. So he's hammering away as he goes, and the sign in front of his little shop says Iron Hand Smithy, and it bears the image of a bare-clawed hand in a gauntlet.
Either this guy's legitimately this guy, or he wants everybody to think he's this guy.
And this guy we thought was part of the White Claw clan.
So
Iron-
he's rumored to be White Scar,
White
the white dire bear that leads the Iron Claw tribe of the Mistvale Forest.
So on our way over,
Sorry, of the Iron Claw tribe.
Iron Claw tribe.
I would speak with Gaius and say, I believe that it's probably beneficial to try and let Kurgan speak to him first.
Yeah, I'm good with that. Wouldn't want to ruffle the feathers of a potential werebear after all.
That would not be good. It would be very bad, in fact.
So this guy, he's hammering away. You notice that set up around the front of his smithy that he has. There's a number of finely made weapons, as well as a few pieces of armor. Not plate mail or things like that, but like hammered, nice hammered like gauntlets and helmets and things like that. And he's currently hammering away on an immense looking axe. Great big two-handed axe that looks to be at least 30 to 40 pounds. This thing is massive. So he's hammering away on this huge axe blade that he's making right now. Far too large for any of you to wield. And every once in a while you see people pass by his little smithy and stare a glance and whisper to someone nearby, and then they quickly scurry away.
Well, Kurgan, you're up.
Has he seen us?
Well, he's kind of looked your direction. He's hammering away. I'll take perception checks. Or sense motive, whichever one you prefer to roll.
Oh,
One of the two.
Definitely sense mode.
12 perception.
12 perception. One of the two.
12 perception.
12 perception.
13 sense motive.
Got a 13 from Scarlet. Sense motive.
All right, 16 sense motive.
Okay, so you notice this guy, he seems to have seen you as you approach. And it also seems like he's heard the people whispering about him. However, Gaius, you believe that he almost seems like satisfied about people whispering about him as they scurry around. Almost like he sees it as like a compliment. So he's hammering away on this immense axe head. So as you kind of stare at him,
Can you remind us again the connection we have with him and Thuvius?
so as far as you know, there is no connection. However, one of the many rumors about the beast of Black Tree Hill was that it's supposedly a feral werebear.
Okay.
And so since people think this guy's White Scar, you came to chat with them to see what suss out if this rumor has any validity to it or not.
And if he knows anything about this
Okay.
werebear.
The beast.
I'm gonna open a dialogue. I'm gonna say greetings, Mr. Bornello.
Enjoying the show? Clang! Clang!
It's quite
Clang.
an impressive looking axe you have there.
So he gives a big smile and he says,
Is it close to being finished?
"No man could wield this baby, I tell you. Need the strength of a bear to swing an axe like this."
Is it
I'm gonna sense
Hammer
motive.
boys,
I'm
he
gonna
goes.
sense motive this guy. I want to see because
is it close to being finished?
Are you asking him or are you looking at it?
Well, can I tell if
Oh, he says, "Oh, the blade's almost done. Just about ready to be. My name.
like quenched?
Thank you, quenched. Just about ready to be quenched."
25 sense motive. I want to. I'm more concerned
Got
about
the oil bath already.
if he's a legitimate like if he is overplaying the fact that he is rumored to be this guy, or is he actually just like this?
What's your sense motive?
25.
Yeah, you think he's playing it up.
Okay. Okay.
He seems to enjoy the reputation
Yeah.
of
Okay.
people thinking he's this big werebear.
Okay.
You know, there's no pit fiends anywhere around this guy. The
Yeah,
whole
I'm not
block.
sure I would fully
There's
come
no
to the
pit fiends
conclusion.
anywhere.
I'm not sure I'd fully come to the conclusion that he's not the leader, but I'm just trying to suss it out and be like, okay, so maybe he's not.
Well, he could be the leader.
Yeah, well, that's
But he seems to revel in the rumors.
yeah, okay.
And judging by the safety of the street, that like every street you've been on, there's been, pit fiends lurking around. Like no one's anywhere near this guy's shop. So people seem to think the rumors are true. That's for sure. So he's hammering away and says, "So what brings you by? I do custom work too." So he keeps hammering though. He's hard at work on this axe head.
We're investigating the disappearance of Thuvius Vega.
After all that, Gaius just holds up. We're investigating.
I can totally see your guy doing that.
100%.
I'm like hiding
Oh,
around
my.
the corner still.
Okay, so Gaius, he asks that. And he says, "Oh, Thuvius, eh?" Keeps hammering away. A lot of rumors going around about that. They say he disappeared at Black Tree Hill.
Yes, we've heard that rumor as well. We're
Keeps hammering as he's talking. Very loud, but he's kind of like he's as I said, he's very loud, so you can hear him over the clang of the iron on iron.
and we also heard that a giant beast may be involved in the disappearance at Black Tree Hill. So that brings us to you, actually. We were wondering if maybe if you had some specialized weapon or advice for confronting this creature in case it ends up coming to that.
So he keeps hammering away, and he looks up at you and smiles. And as he does, he says, "Oh, well, I don't know what exactly this beast might be, but I know it wasn't a werebear."
22 sense motive.
He seems to be telling the truth, and that it doesn't seem like it's like a hearsay thing. Like he seems when he says, "I don't think it's not."
Yeah, okay.
Where he seems like he's like factually stating it.
Okay.
So he must truly believe it's not.
Okay.
If it's not a werebear, then what kind of creature might it be? I'm new to the area. I don't know what kind of monsters roam the countryside.
That's the question, isn't it? From what I've heard, savage beasts have been prowling the Mistvale as of late. And the beast of Black Tree Hill, I'd reckon it's one of those beasts. As for what? Your guess is as good as mine. But I tell you, I sure would like to know what it is. And he kind of glances up when he says it, and he says, and I'd pay well, too.
How well?
Keeps hammering away at the axe head.
So Scarlet will step up.
Puts it and quenches it into the oil bath. And it you see all kinds of smoke coming up out of the oil bath. And he glances at the axe head. He seems satisfied with his work as he puts it down, and he approaches you. And he says, well, if you can take down that beast and bring me what remains of it, I'd pay you 1,000 gold.
That is a large sum of money. Why, what do you have riding on this?
Give me a diplomacy check from you guys. You can all roll the check, and whoever's highest.
Before.
Give me the roll.
All right.
17.
Ooh. Powerful 11.
Mine is a 15. My diplomacy check.
Okay. What was yours, guys?
Mine was an 11. I seem to have found my fives.
And Kurgan?
17.
Okay. So he says, well, whatever this beast is, can't have it prowling the Mistvale. Best I know what it is. And when he says that, he's quite loud, like he's almost trying to let everybody know that it's something he's interested in. He seems to have vested interest in the Mistvale.
But I don't know if he's just
Just playing the rumors.
playing.
Or...
Yeah.
All right. Well, if we find and slay a beast at Black Tree Hill, we will make sure to bring it to you to collect that bounty.
Does it look like this guy deals with anything finer, like fine, like a pin or brooches or anything like that, or is everything he crafts just?
Yeah, well, it seems like for the most part, the stuff that he does is weaponry, armor, and stuff like that. But he is quite good. Like everything he makes is very nice looking.
Okay, well, I'm going to show him the pin. Can you tell me anything about this?
Okay, so when you show him the pin, he stops. Like, he's been puttering around doing things as he's been talking, but he stops and he says, "Why don't you all come into the showroom? Why don't you come into the showroom? I got something to show you."
I will nod.
Yeah, follow suit.
So he leads you into the showroom. He unlocks it, lets you through the front door, and then as you all enter, he comes in and closes the door behind him. And so he's left. All of his stuff is still out in the open.
He's very trusting, this guy.
Or he just knows no one wants to
Yeah.
risk it.
Do you want to risk it?
Sure, there's got to be some punk somewhere who thinks he can take a werebear.
Suppose it.
Or maybe
Allegedly.
they've tried before. Who knows?
Yeah.
Okay.
So he takes you into the show. And so once you're in the showroom, everything is really nice in the showroom. Really high quality weapons, armors. He's even got full plate armors. And in varieties of sizes. He has them for small creatures like halflings and things. He's got them in medium sizes. And he's got larger, more exotic looking things. Things that would be sized for, giant sized creatures like, werebears and things of that nature. So he takes you into the showroom, and then he moves a curtain at the back of the room, revealing another door, which he unlocks, opens, and he motions for you all to head in.
Says motive.
So it looks like he's headed. He's trying to get you to go into his house that's connected to
his den.
Okay, not
if you
some
will.
like secret,
his den.
some secret
No, just like his
lycanthropy altering place.
Could be. You don't know.
Does it smell like incense in here?
No, it doesn't.
Okay, great. I'm going.
Smell like fish.
Actually, for those of you with scent, you detect a sweet smell coming from inside. This
Is it
delicious
salmon?
smell of fresh baked goods.
Ooh.
Gray meat's coming in with us, of course.
He doesn't say anything when you bring Gray Man in.
Excellent.
Not a thing.
Oh,
Add it to the
You know,
fur.
some people give you a weird look. Doesn't even look weird
Sense
at you.
motive of 19.
Doesn't seem bothered at all.
He's not like
Almost like he would have been bothered if your wolf waited outside.
No, sorry, I meant from us escorting us into this.
Oh, no. It seems like he has some. He's trying to tell you something in private.
Okay.
His attitude went from very boisterous and, reveling in the attention he was getting to wanting to be private about something.
Very
I'm
good.
following him.
Dun, dun, dun.
Okay, so you enter and you're in a nice looking kind of kitchen. And he closes the door behind you and locks it. And he motions for you all to sit at the little table he has in the middle of the kitchen. And there's a number of chairs around it. And you'd say it's all quite fancy, like very, very nice looking. Definitely not what you'd expect in a blacksmith's house.
Okay.
So as you have a sit, he heads over and he puts a kettle on. And you see him fiddling around with in some of the cupboards. And after about 3 minutes or so, he turns around. He's got a tray that's covered with a variety of teacups and things like that, and things for tea, sugar and all that stuff. And he's also got a little tower filled with various fresh baked dainties. And so he puts this down. He starts to serve each of you guys. He gives each of you a tea, and whenever he gives you his tea, he gives you a tea, Gaius, and he asks you milk or sugar.
Both, please. Yes.
Okay, so he starts scooping in, waiting for you to tell if it's enough or not.
After one scoop, that'll be.
Okay, so he stops and he hands it to you, and then tea or milk or sugar? No. Okay, so he just gives it to you. Gives it to you. You're fresh. Give it to you. You're black.
Raw.
Okay, and then for you, Scarlet.
Do you have any floral
tea?
teas?
He says, I do. And so he goes into the back and he produces quite a fantastic floral blend.
Okay,
And
excellent.
gives you a fresh cup and gives it to you.
Perfect. Thank you.
And then he offers each of you a small plate. And he kind of holds up his big tower of dainties and offers it to each one of you.
I'll take one dainty and a plate.
Refreshment.
Thank you.
Willem, forgive me, Willem. And thank you for your hospitality. It hasn't gone unnoticed, and I very much appreciate it. However, I have a friend to find, and we were hoping you could help us.
Courtesy dictates. So then he sits down at the other chair, and when he does, he kind of wipes his hands off on his blacksmithing apron that he's got on, and he takes a tea and he starts putting an inordinate amount of sugar into his tea. And so after about 7 or 8 scoops, puts some milk in, mixes it up.
A little
Starts
bit
to
of
have
tea.
some.
A little bit of tea with the sugar.
2 fingers holding the teacup as he takes a nice little sip. And then he takes one of every single one of the dainties, and he starts eating them. And then after he's taken at least one bite out of each one, he says, "So, I've seen that pin before." His hands are covered in powdered sugar. It's all over his face.
Yes, the pin.
Belonged to Thuvius.
It did actually. We went to quite a bit of trouble to reclaim it after it was stolen. What do you know about it?
I know he cared about it. Never really talked much about it.
Did you know Thuvius well?
Well as can be. I mean, I talked with him a bit, but he asked me to set up a meeting with White Scar.
Do you know White Scar?
I do. There's rumors around town that I'm White Scar, but that's not true. But I do have a good relationship with the Werebears.
22 sense motive.
He's telling the truth.
Okay.
21 says one.
Some
You
of the rumors.
see, I'm actually the one that supplies them with weapons and armor for all of their campaigns.
That checks out.
It's not just for show. Some
Very
people,
nice. Very nice equipment, by the way.
I take pride in my work. It's difficult making something
That
immense that functions.
It's so refreshing to see somebody that takes pride in their work. We just had like a couple used car salesmen yesterday. One guy at Bed Bath & Beyond. One guy on the docks. Nobody really takes pride in what they do anymore. So I respect
I
that.
think it's important. So, since you know Thuvius, the last time I saw Thuvius, he asked me to set up a meeting with White Scar.
How long ago was that?
It was 2 months ago that Thuvius disappeared. He disappeared on the night of the meeting on Black Tree Hill with White Scar. White Scar tells me that he wasn't at the meeting. He never showed.
Did White Scar say anything about why he wasn't able to make the meeting?
He shakes his head. Now all I know is that's when he disappeared, and I know it wasn't White Scar. But that's when this beast arrived. But I was serious. If you can kill this beast and bring its remains back to me, I'll pay you 1,000 gold. I need to know more about the beast because the Werebears are going to be encountering it.
Nothing saying that the beast was the thing that killed Thuvius, but it is something that we need to. Well, we're going to be looking into regardless. But we were under the impression that Thuvius had went missing 6 weeks ago, not 8 weeks ago.
He shakes his head. No. Rumors about the beast of Black Tree Hill started 6 weeks ago. But Thuvius, he disappeared 8 weeks ago. It's been 2 months.
Why have the Iron Claws not... The Iron Claws? Iron Claws. Why have the Iron Claws not been able to stop this beast? Or have they just not... Has it been too dangerous that they haven't wanted to attempt it?
The Ironclaw clan, they patrol the Mistvale far to the north. The beast of Black Tree Hill is just on the outskirts of town.
So we have been...
The Ironclaw clan, they don't come anywhere near here. But strange, savage beasts have been spotted within the Mistvale. And the Ironclaw clan, they've noticed
I see.
some signs that these beasts are there, but they haven't actually encountered them. They're not going farther enough north.
Then perhaps with you as our proxy, we may be able to help each other out, the clan, that is. We have leave by the town captain to go to Black Tree Hill and continue our investigation there.
So he gives a nod. Perfect. Go check out the hill. Kill whatever the beast is. Bring back its remains. And I got 1,000 gold reward for you. It's better than anything else you'll find. I guarantee it.
I'm going to interrupt and say there's no way this weapon is good enough to slay such a beast.
So he lets out a laugh. And he says, that's a pit fiend blade right there.
It is. Beggars can't be choosers.
It's...
My upbringing has been quite...
Well, I'll tell you what then. you bring me back the remains of the beast of Black Tree Hill, and instead of your 1,000 gold reward, I'll make you a real axe.
Well,
Get
we
shafted.
we have to see if we can even fell this beast first.
So he gives a nod. Well, good. Go check it out. And let's keep all this hush hush. I like my reputation around town. Keeps the block safe.
Seems to serve you well.
He gives a nod.
Thank you for the tea and crumpets.
And if you do succeed in taking down this beast, I got some more work for you too. Something that I think might help you with your investigation.
Good to know.
I'll finish off
Gives
my
a nod.
tea. One big gulp. Uh-oh.
Then he offers anyone who wants one a little to-go box for any dainties.
No, thank you.
I appreciate the offer, but
It goes right to my hips.
Okay. So, from what I understand, we'll take our leave.
Yeah, you do so. He heads out shortly thereafter to get back to what he's doing. And as soon as you step out, he's like, ha ha ha! Another satisfied customer, eh? Says it really loud for
So
everybody.
I'll
Drive a hard bargain, but fair.
I'm gonna say
There's two bad actors. You drive a hard bargain, but fair.
Bunny the lifeguard, stirred but
My
fair.
bluff was 13.
Okay, so from what I remember, we need to. We're pretty sure that the beast comes out at night.
But you were told not to go there at night.
Yeah,
You were
that's what we were
If
told.
you were going to investigate, you're supposed to do it during the day.
Well, we're gonna for sure go now, but we might not. Anyway, okay, let's go there. Let's see what we can figure out. Perhaps that golden nose of yours, Mr. Gaius, can help us.
we're gonna have to make a stop at the inn along the way.
Oh, is it time?
I think it's time.
Is it time for Rexford?
I think Rexford is itching for some action.
Some action?
Action.
Your horse's name's Rexford.
Rexford.
Nice.
A horse named Rexford.
So you stop off to go get Rexford out of the stable. Get your saddle. Get them all set up. Mount
Yep.
your lance on the side, ready to be grabbed at a moment's notice. Shield on the other arm, I take it.
Yep.
And
You're
you
right.
guys are the chumps walking on the ground as he's trotting all nobly on top of his steed. You make your way towards the north side of town to head up along High Road. And as you do, you have a good long look at the surrounding territory. And you see Black Tree Hill.
I am a gentleman, though, so I would offer Scarlett the option to ride side saddle on the back of Rexford.
Side saddle. I'm not wearing a dress.
It's not like
What a gentleman.
on the back of Rexford's going to be the saddlebags.
The side saddle. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's not like you can ride astride the backside of the
Just put it
horse.
in
Fair
front
enough.
like cargo.
She will
Better-
respectfully decline. Thank you, Gaius, but I will walk. As she straps her plants together and rides them like a chariot. Or man-eating plants.
No. They're back at the
Yeah, I know. They got work to do.
Strap them together, and then you just lead them with a rabbit carcass.
Yeah, there you go. Perfect.
So heading north out of the city along the high road, if you look towards the east, you see in the distance the Mistvale Forest. So named because it is shrouded in mist almost all day long. And almost all year long. Between the high road and the Mistvale, you see a massive hill, a massive grass-covered hill with a massive black tree at its peak. Nothing else is on the hill. It's all grassy, and then there's this big tree. And it is bizarre looking. You start to ride or walk your way towards the hill. And as you do, everyone give me a perception check.
With a mighty 13 on the dice, that'd be a 15.
17. Oh,
Okay, we got a
19 for Scarlet.
17 from Gaius, a 19 from Scarlet,
17, yeah.
and a 17 from Kurgan. So all of you notice, riding towards you from the west side of the high road, you see a mounted figure. A banner bearing the sigil of a trio of stylized crossed swords before a massive black tree is on her banner as the figure rides forward.
So as
Okay.
we see this approaching,
Yep.
I would like to, because here at Barely Adequate, we forget how to do things, and I've had this ability that I haven't been using. I'm going to reach out my hand and give Sir Gaius a little pat as I give you Touch of Glory.
Ooh.
And within the next hour, you can expend the use to gain a +1 to your next charisma-based check.
Nice.
Nice. So all of you got a high enough check. Not only do you see this figure approaching, but you see them rapidly ride forward, stopping in front of you between where you were going and Black Tree Hill. She's about 30 feet away. And as she stops, her banner waves in the wind, and she draws an ornate bastard sword with a blackened blade.
So was she advancing quite aggressively?
It didn't look like she was charging you. It looks like she was charging to get between you and Black Tree Hill.
Well, I'm drawing my bow.
Okay, you got your bow out. So you got your bow trained on her?
More knocked and ready.
Knocked her. So you're ready, but it's loose.
Yes.
Okay, so she draws an ornate bastard sword with a blackened blade and positions herself between you before pointing the sword at you.
I'll position myself and Rexford in front of the others,
Okay, you do so.
pointing directly at her, but I won't draw a weapon.
Okay. So she points her blade forward. Halt! Why do you head towards Black Tree Hill? A place that is illegal to trespass upon by decree of the High Castle Guard. Explain yourselves. So as you stand, you gaze upon this woman. A pale-skinned woman with brown eyes and straight black hair. She wears vibrant red and silver Yorio samurai armor and has an ornate round shield strapped to her arm bearing the insignia of a trio of stylized crossed swords before a massive black tree. Same sigil that is on her banner. A pair of intricately detailed scabbards rest upon her belt, each holding a different exotic blade. One a katana, and the other a bastard sword, which she holds out at you. So that is the woman you see here. Okay, so apologies, Gaius. That's what you see. What will you do?
All right, so speaking loudly to cross the distance, I will say, Madame, I am Gaius Bainbridge, and we are here with special clearance to launch an investigation in the region.
I am no madame. I am Dame Satsuki Nobura, and you will show me respect. Or has the Order of the Crown Phoenix truly fallen from grace?
She recognizes who I came from.
She immediately recognizes your heraldry.
So do you like turn around and look at me and you're like, you gotta take over?
No. It's my apologies. It's been a while since I've met anyone who's even recognized my order. You have the document, right?
I do,
Scarlet?
yes.
Okay. So then now I'll look over to you.
Yeah, I'm just standing behind you, just patiently.
Then I'll whisper. We should probably show her the document that we have, giving us clearance to be here.
No problem. So Scarlet will come out with her palms out. What he says is true. We do I know how to address? Would I have any inkling on how she, like, am I supposed to bow? Am I supposed to?
Just as long as you're respectful.
And is she illegally like?
Well, she classified herself as a dame, which would mean that she's a female knight.
Okay, great. So I will approach like slowly. I'll walk around Rexford and say, I would like to show you the documents that we have, with your permission.
So she trots forward a little bit, and sword still out. She kind of rests it at her side as she holds her other hand out, the one that has the shield strapped to it, to grab the letter.
Yeah, I will produce it.
Okay, so she reads through it, and then when she finishes, she sheathes her sword and says, "Oh, I see. Would seem you do have permission to be here. Apologies. It was my understanding that no one was to be approaching Black Tree Hill, but it would seem the captain of the guard has made an exception for you. Watch yourselves. I'm sure there's a feral werebear about."
Is there anything you can tell us about said feral werebear?
She shakes her head. "No, I've never seen it myself.
I'm going to intervene and say, how do you know it's a werebear then?
Yeah, I'm sure it's some malevolent, violent, and twisted spirit given flesh into that of some kind of other creature. It's certainly a werebear." I'll take sense one.
So,
From everybody.
That's a 22.
Well, she seems to
With a 9 on the dice.
be telling the truth as far as you can tell.
But we did know
But you
that
get
that
the
was
feeling that she's actually seems just very superstitious.
okay, and
Does
we did
any-
know that was a rumor that it.
That was a rumor. That was a rumor.
Okay,
Does anyone have a knowledge local?
I do.
Let's see what you got. Might be some pertinent info here.
All right. 8 and 5, so 13.
Okay, so you know that she is of Yokaigan descent, which is a nation across the ocean, far to the east, and it is on the southern border of the Shadowlands of Zerkol, which has a corrupting influence on anything nearby. So the people of Yokaigan are very superstitious. And for good reason. It's built right into their society that creatures get twisted and corrupted by foul spirits. So it's understanding for her to have that kind of view of the situation, but you don't think she actually knows really what's going on with the werebears.
so Scarlet would
Definitely superstition.
her inquisitive nature would want her to like try to get more out of this woman, but I think she would. Does she get the letter back? Does Dame
She passes it back to you. Yep.
Yeah, so I think she would actually stay herself, and she'll just kind of back up, and she'll look over at Gaius and just kind of give him a nod.
All right, so then I'll approach the dame. In your patrols of the region, what signs have you seen of the werebear's presence? Is there anywhere we can start tracking it?
So she shakes her head and she says, I've spent the last few years patrolling the western borders leading to Redwall. I don't often come back to this area. From what I've heard, from the rumors around town and the reports I've had, there's some kind of beast in Black Tree Hill, and that's what people have been getting attacked by. So it's best to avoid. Although myself, I haven't seen any sign of it. Although a few months ago, I did notice something unusual. I noticed a man in black armor with a black cloak and piercing red eyes being attacked on the road by bandits. But by the time I arrived, the bandits were dead and the man had seemingly vanished into thin air.
No.
And it was shortly thereafter that this beast of Black Tree Hill supposedly had been prowling the area.
Interesting.
Whether there's a connection, I can't say for certain. But the person I saw was most certainly not a beast. It was a person. Black armor and a black cloak. With those piercing red eyes. I'll never forget that sight.
This is not the first time we've had encounters with this creature. Do you remember where on the road you encountered it?
She nods and she says, it was further up the high road, coming in from further in Messenia, traveling towards High Castle.
How many days' journey away?
Less than a day's ride. Again, that was, I'd say 2 months ago by now.
A long time to track something. But there might be something in the region.
Well,
Or
I
it's
mean,
not-
My level 1 druidic abilities will have no problem.
okay.
All right. Well, with your permission, we will depart and proceed with our investigation.
She nods. I must take my leave and continue my patrols. Be warned, by nightfall is when they say the beast is out and about. Make sure you've finished your investigation before then, unless you wish to become its next victim. Yeah, and she rides off on her horse.
I liked her.
I gather from that we're not explicitly told not to be here. We're just warned not to be
True.
here.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah. No.
She didn't not say.
Her warning in mind, you continue to pursue your way up to Black Tree Hill. You arrive in just a few short minutes. And that's where you see it. Upon this tall, grass-covered hill, a massive black tree bearing gnarled protrusions along its entire trunk. Does anyone have a knowledge of nature?
$18.
So you immediately recognize that this tree is certainly not natural in the sense that it doesn't belong here. This is an ironwood tree. These are only grown in the frigid forests of the armed nation of Cord, far to the northeast, where it's winter all year long. It would take great care to have this tree thrive in this land. And based on how big it is, great care has been taken until the last while. It's been... You got a 19 on your notes right here? You would say that it's been about a year and a half that this tree has no longer been cared for. So there very likely was someone caretaking this tree to keep it in good, healthy condition. And the reason it looks the way it does now is because for about a year and a half, no one's been looking after it. Despite the fearsome nature of the tree, this high vantage offers a breathtaking view of the surroundings, including Mistvale Forest, High Castle, and Caldecroft Manor. As you approach the tree, you find its condition dismal. However, a strange noise catches your attention. And as you glance up towards the tree, something catches your eye. But what is it? What significance does this tree hold? And its apparent neglect over the last year and a half. Who is this figure described to you by Dame Satsuki Nobura, the black-armored, black-cloaked figure with red piercing eyes? All this and more next time on Barely Adequate, where we aren't that good at this, and you don't have to be either.
Either.
Oh,
Just barely adequate here, guys.
cliffhangers.